First off, let's go through this word normative. Normative from Merriam-Webster is defined as 1. Of, relating to, or determining norms or standards. 2. Conforming to or based on norms. 3. Prescribing norms. From thefreedictionary.com we have 1. Implying, creating, or prescribing a norm or standard, as in language such as normative grammar. 2. Expressing value judgments, right? Value judgments, or prescriptions as contrasted with stating facts. Normative economics. 3. Of, relating to, or based on norms. So from this, we can see that a normative claim is just a claim of what you want. You can want a norm or standard, agree upon a norm or standard, prescribe a norm or standard, but it's all just what you want. When someone speaks about the normativity of a claim, they're speaking about wanting things. Like you say, there should be pizza in that oven. Well, that just means you want there to be pizza in that oven according to some other norm or standard. Saying there is a ball, that is not a normative claim. They are stating their wants. We all want things, and the word normative doesn't give what you want any special power. Furthermore, wanting something does not imply morality. Normativity does not equal morality. One can be a moral nihilist and still express their values, and still have values. Furthermore, you don't need ethics to make an argument. For example, if someone says, "I'm not going to eat food for a month," I would reply, "But you may die." But I would be appealing to their value of living. If this person then said, "Well, I want to die, that's why I'm not eating for a month," I would further appeal to their values about things like what they would like in life. But again, it's all just appealing to their values. Similarly, when arguing against the state, I can appeal to the values another person may have. I make the argument that taxation is theft, and when I do that, I'm appealing to the other person's opposition of theft, which I am assuming they do. I'm appealing to their anti-theft value. Again, you don't need morality to appeal to values. What is more is that, quite frankly, moral arguments don't work. Because any statist who's not a dumbass will respond to the taxation is theft argument by saying, "Well, by having universal health care, we can save thousands of lives, and I'm fine with having a few people held at gunpoint against their will to do so, to do it. It's the moral thing to do." And so, if morality is consequentialist, which virtually all morality ends up being, you end up having to argue the economics anyway. So morality or no morality, it's the economics that are going to win any debate. Any foundation other than value-free economic analysis plus appeal to extant subjective value is bound to fail. And it does fail routinely. I've seen it happen with Francois Tremblay, Anarcho-Jesse, Brain Police 2. Morality takes you back to statism. The only way the ought can consistently be enforced is by force. If the moralist finds the state immoral, but finds the results of a totally free market even more immoral, then he will remain a statist. That heavy moralists tend to fall back to statism should be no surprise, because morality works a lot like the state. Any person has a certain set of values. They value wealth, friendship, physical health, and all that stuff. But let's say they also value the state. They are a true patriot. If they value the state, they may find themselves in Iraq in an impossible mission and then snapping and killing a bunch of civilians and then having it show up all over the news. They themselves, by their own individualistic subjective values, did not want to go to Iraq. It is because they valued the state, and the state said for them to go to Iraq. The valuation of the state transposed itself among this person's other values. Of course, the threat of force is used at the margins, but the state is sustained primarily by by belief, as the mere existence of successful revolutions will attest. Morality works the same way. Someone may want to use force to defend their property by their own subjective valuations, and so they value using force to defend their property. But they may also value morality, and according to the morality, they ought not violently defend their property. And so they end up submitting to some mutualist BS, not by their own individualistic subjective values, but by a belief in morality. Same goes with God. Nietzsche called this the center of gravity, and this is why I don't find theists to be any dumber than stateists, and why I don't find theists to be any dumber than extreme moralizers, extreme secular moralizers. In fact, extreme secular moralizers may be worse, because morality still has a lot more legitimacy among the masses. It's not about God, it's about the center of gravity. Morality, God, the state, whatever intervenes on the subjective valuations will cause the chaos of the arbitrary.